Thursday's Independent, there is more to the fracking vote as well than meets the eye, Liam.
Yeah, so what we've just discussed isn't the only chaos for the Tories. It's amazing. You know, it always seems to come in about 12s for this government. So the Chief Whip and the Deputy Chief Whip have apparently resigned from the Truss government following a contentious vote on fracking. So several Conservative MPs had said they were going to revolt against the government and vote against the Tories, and they were told, the Whip told them it was a vote of confidence which could result in expulsion from the party for rebels. Because obviously, right now, this is when you need to sort of rally round the party and not make even more cracks appear. But following that, it appears the Whips may have been a bit too boisterous. There have been reports of Tory MPs being shouted at and even physically manhandled into the lobby by ministers. Or describing it, I think, who was it? Chris Bryan, Labour MP, described it as bullying. That's an adult. Describing adults shouting at other adults as bullying.
The point of whips aren't bullies. I mean, that's why it's called whips, isn't it? Otherwise, it would be called carrots or something, wouldn't it?
The word bully is hate speech. It's a hate speech word used by losers to describe people who are better and stronger than them. And we need to stop it.
Leo's pro-bully rhetoric from Leo, surprising no one. Well, yeah, there was chaos. It's hard to know exactly what happened. Apparently, Graham Stewart was told by Number 10 to announce that the three-line whip was suspended, but no one told Wendy Morton, this is what I've heard, and so she instantly quit. And apparently was heard shouting in the corridor, "I'm no longer the chief whip," was shouting it in a corridor.
Like they've gone slightly hysterical.
Yes,
I think she may have withdrawn her resignation now. I think that might have been on the news report.
OK, we've moved so fast, doesn't it? We might have a new PM by halfway through the show.
And I'm sure some of the newspapers will come out with things that are dead wrong tomorrow. Definitely will happen.
I get the feeling that, serving this cabinet is sort of like jury duty. We're all going to have...
Well, that's the question. How long will Liz Truss last? Because, some people think she's trying to beat George Canning's record, and he did either 118 or 119 days. People seem to disagree, but it ended because he died. And she's in danger of becoming the shortest-lived PM, not because she died, but because of all this chaos. And I think she's on about 43 days now.
Wow.
And I heard another interesting theory that they're going to keep Truss in just to absorb the shock as a sort of human shield. Because who could you put in now and they'll take all this flack?
Well, that's what they should have done with Boris, to be honest, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, admittedly, there were cries for Boris's resignation, but they could have weathered them if they'd done it, and they could have just used him to absorb everything else that happened.
But if you think, why would Truss sit through all this?
Yeah.
But if that theory is correct, it kind of suits both parties. They get to keep her there as a human shield. She gets to not have the world record for worst ever Prime Minister.
Oh, they don't care. An extra day as Prime Minister, that's what she just wants to be in gold paint on the wooden panel over the door. I've just heard through my ear, by the way, they definitely have withdrawn their resignation, I think. So, well, I say definitely, by this time tomorrow.